Welcome to today's Operation Greatness Freeing the Matrix Parasite Cleansed Action Pod number 55. This is Stop Sabotaging Yourself Now. The world needs you strong, focused, on fire, leading everyone you are destined to serve. We're doing that work right here together now. Make sure that you're commenting on this action pod number 55 in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. You're probably already a member there. I hope you are anyway, because if you're not, you're missing out on so much. And in fact, make sure that you are doing our 90-day freedom challenge as part of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. This is where we're all becoming clean from the self-sabotaging behavior we had done over the next 3 months. 3 months is a long enough time to make that habit permanent. So this is about your lasting success, happiness, joy, fulfillment, well-being, peace of mind, meaning, impact, contribution. All of this is why you are here. It's how you are living your best life. And this is the greatest thing every one of us has ever done. So make sure that you're doing our 90-day freedom challenge with us as part of being in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So when you hear the words stop sabotaging yourself now, what comes to mind immediately for you as the most important way you were sabotaging yourself? Like, do you drink alcohol still? Well, that's a poison. So get it out of your system. No longer do that anytime. It's not appropriate. It's unacceptable. It's intolerable. I mean, how could you love yourself and do things that you know are destroying yourself, are harmful to you? That's incongruent, it's inconsistent. And you, my friend, are here. You are God's gift to the world. So absolutely, you are meant to no longer hurt yourself, sabotage your success, happiness, joy, fulfillment, well-being, prosperity, meaning, impact, contribution in any way anymore, because that's incongruent. And you are a person of honor. You are living your best life. You are being of service to others. You are the inspired visionary leader, in fact, of every one of your online friends. No one left behind. You're leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating everyone you are blessed to have connected with you, all your online friends, as well as everyone in your local area through your Operation Greatness chapter, right? And for you to be the best person it is your destiny to be, can you afford to limit that in any way by sabotaging yourself in any way at all? Of course not. You have to be your best person, and that means be clean, be pure, not harm yourself, not limit your contribution to the world. This is all so logical and it's obvious when you think about it. And so, anyway, was when I said what was coming to the surface of your mind as the most pressing area where you had been sabotaging yourself, where was that smoking weed? I mean, that's an obvious one as well. Because did you know that marijuana, well, let me put it this way. What it does is it takes you out of or weakens your prefrontal cortex, which is the conscious thinking part of your mind. And we'll talk about all this here. This is so huge that we all understand this. When it also, okay, there's all kinds of research and evidence and studies and all this documentation of this. It's What it does is it removes your ability to think critically. to discern true or false, right or wrong, good or bad. It sedates people. I mean, that's pretty obvious. I've never done it myself because I was never self-loathing or hateful of myself. And yet I know so many people who have been that way. And in college, when I lived in a dorm where I had two roommates in my dorm room, and they were heavy drug users and abusers, and the wing used to come into my unit and party until like 2 a.m. every night. And I would drink alcohol, so I was still abusing myself. I was still unloving of myself, but I would be the one to go like this to pass it around, but I wouldn't do it myself. But I got secondhand smoke for sure. But anyway, I mean, I was abusing alcohol. Well, I was using alcohol, and any use of alcohol is an abuse of your system, of your body, of your temple. And until about 3 years ago, it'll be 3 years this August, that's when I gave it up entirely because I saw I was dating a woman who was an alcoholic, and I had two tenants of mine were alcoholics, and they were like violently fighting each other. They were, I mean, anyway, it's just so horrific. The alcohol, the curse of alcohol, and yet it's part of the mass programming, and it's up to every one of us to move past that programming and to reject it completely in our own lives. That's what stopping self-sabotaging means. You're coming out of the old programming, you're freeing yourself from the matrix. And in fact, in our Freeing the Matrix Mastermind, make sure that you are doing the very inspiring and insightful masterclass that we are doing. This is Action Pod number 32. It's our private podcast. It was never released to the public. That's Action Podcast number 32, which is called Freeing the Matrix from Your Mind. Freeing the matrix from your mind, because your mind is so much greater than the matrix ever could have even hoped to ever be. And you will recognize that in this private podcast. It was never released. It's only for our members in the freeingthematrix.com mastermind. Make sure you're doing that. I suggest you do that today, in fact. Anyway, so of course, alcohol is one of the major ways people were abusing the temple that their body is, and their minds and their emotions and their spirit. I mean, all of that is, I mean, alcohol's a poison, it's plain and simple. So if you're ingesting poison, then you're consciously poisoning yourself. That's, of course, self-sabotaging. And yet, weed, marijuana, smoking, tobacco, anything that you're smoking, you're damaging yourself. That's obvious. And anyway, so what about other drugs? I mean, that's even worse. I mean, I would never do that to myself because I love myself and I respect and honor the temple that I am because, I mean, if you think about it, you're God's gift to the world. You're also God's instrument for miracles. And so your work is to keep the temple clean, pure, whole, by because the temple is where God lives, right? It's kind of obvious when you think about it that way. And yet, where were you obstructing, polluting, sabotaging, destroying the temple? How could you do that? Because your life is God's gift to you. So how could you destroy something that God gave you? And what you do with your life is your gift to God. I mean, those words, let me say that again, and I want you to just feel that. This is how you are living. I'm getting chills here, just feeling your response to this. feel these words and allow this to be your North Star about how you're choosing to live your life from this moment moving forward. I don't remember the source of this quote. I heard this quote and it like made me stand up and stop whatever I was doing. It's like, wow, this is how I'm living my life now. Your life is God's gift to you. How you are living your life is your gift to God. Is there anything more important than honoring the gift your life is from God? And how you are living your life, how much you are being of greater service to more people, which is why you are here. It means everything that how much you are being God's gift to the world, how much you are being of greater service to more people, that determines everything about your life. That's why you are on the planet. It's to be of greater service to more people because you are God's gift to the world. And so, being that gift, how can I be that gift more effectively? How can I touch more people's lives? Is the question you ask. And that becomes your North Star because your life is God's gift to you. How you live your life is your gift to God. So if you love God, if you love the gift you are, then you take care of that gift, then you respect it, you honor it, you cherish it as the temple it is, because that's honoring God. That's honoring the gift you received from God. Your life is that gift. And what you do with your life is your gift to God. You are God's gift to the world, after all. So that becomes your North Star. That becomes your compass. That's your moral guide showing you, are you on the right track? Or were you sabotaging yourself? So let me share with you a fundamental truth about this, about stopping the sabotage right now, right here, because nothing matters more than this. How can you be an effective servant leader in being of great service to everyone you are blessed to have connected with you? And by that, I mean all your online friends. You're serving them, you're leading, inspiring, transforming, and yes, liberating them, LITL, doing a little more today in being of greater service, like right now, right here leading all of your online friends into this action pod number 55. Stop sabotaging yourself now, because they were sabotaging themselves as much as you were, and some maybe more, some less. Depends on how conscious people are, how conscious and aware and present every one of us is. That's where we're no longer sabotaging ourselves because how would we consciously abuse the temple? That's sacrilegious to abuse the temple, and you are the temple for God to work miracles in the world. You're God's instrument for miracles, after all. So, because if you, I mean, recognizing this consciously, the systems of the world are set up for you to sabotage yourself. That's what I really want you to understand, and we'll talk about that right here. But right now, lead all of your online friends through doing this action pod number 55, stop sabotaging yourself now, and do that through your invite people link that you got when you joined us in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So right here, lead every one of your online friends through doing this with us. This is our chapter party for today of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So go to the About page that you see once you're inside and go to the Invite People link and use your Invite People link. It's your Invite People Financial Freedom link, to be more exact. Use that link, your Invite People Financial Freedom link, in all of the posts that you're making. And so go back to the beginning here and talk about each point. Think about it, share your thoughts about it, How do you feel about that? Where were you self-sabotaging yourself? And then your commitment now that I'm no longer abusing my temple because this is God's temple and God lives within me and God is blessing the world through me. I mean, you're reflecting on that yourself and you're acknowledging that and you're cleaning up the temple and you're revering it and you're making it as beautiful, meaning you're in your best shape because you're strong and you're healthy and you're not, well, sabotaging that, destroying God's work anymore, and you're cleaning up the destruction that you had done before, right? Because this, your temple has to be the worthy home of God, because it is only through you that God is able to bless the world. I mean, really hear that. When's the last time you saw like a hand reach down from the sky and give people pots of gold? No, it doesn't work that way. You are God's instrument for miracles in the world. You are God's gift to the world. So be it. Live your life as that gift. Is there any question about the need for you to do this yourself and for you to guide others, like everyone connected with you, especially through your Operation Greatness chapter, which is a subset of our freeinthematrix.com mastermind? And so, what's required of you to clean up your temple? Would it serve you to do our 90-day freedom challenge where we're becoming clean for a full 90 days, where you're no longer abusing yourself or sabotaging your success, happiness, joy, fulfillment, well-being, peace of mind, prosperity, meaning, impact, contribution, where you're no longer sabotaging God from blessing the world through your temple, through your body, your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual body. You're no longer sabotaging yourself in any way. Would that serve you to do that with us as part of the 90-day freedom challenge in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind? I have to think that's actually needed in your life. Would you agree? Where we're getting it right. So I mentioned I was going to share with you the basis of this. So here's how life works. This is deep stuff here, so I want you to really pay attention to this. And actually, this is part of our parasitecleansed.com program. We have something there that we're doing, which is at parasitecleansed.com/3P. This is our 30-day purging poison program. I would love for you to do that. That's something that we're doing over 30 days together. It's a part, I think it's 5 parts that we're doing this. No, is it? I don't know, 5 or 6 parts. 5 modules I think we're doing over the 30 days. And this is at parasitecleanse.com/3P. It's about stopping the poisoning. Okay, so like I mentioned, the systems of the world are designed to keep you down, keep you in fear, coming from scarcity, and totally oblivious of your power, which is beyond measure. And you need to be in your center, in your power, for you to fulfill and honor and live your divine design, duty, destiny, dharma, for you to be the gift you are. You have to stop poisoning yourself and you have to know how much you matter. And coming from love and abundance, being a generous servant of God, you might say, as that's how I would put it for myself anyway. And what I mean by that is you're giving generously and you're coming from abundance and you are, well, abundance is, what is God anyway? That's the word I use to describe the infinite and unlimited, the omnipresent, present everywhere. There is nowhere God is not, including and especially within you, right? So not holding back, not playing small, not coming from ego, which means not God. All of that was part of the programming to keep you unaware of your power. Your power is beyond measure. I mean, we just need a few people living in their power and opening fully to being that instrument for miracles in the world. That means saying yes to life and honoring yourself and not sabotaging yourself anymore. So here's how this works. I want you to really hear this message. Okay, so you have your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. You've seen that picture, I trust, of like the igloo. No, I was not the igloo. The ice. What are they called? Ice. You know what I'm talking about? Those things that float around in the water, and like only 5% is above water. I forgot what they call them right now anyway. And like 95% is below the surface. You know, like what destroyed the Titanic? Iceberg, thank you. Not igloo, that's kind of silly, but anyway, my mind is, maybe I haven't been drinking enough water today, which is probably true. Anyway, I'm gonna have a sip of water here, excuse me. So I've been recording a lot of videos today already. And anyway, 5% of your mind is conscious. And that's the part that, like marijuana and alcohol and even caffeine, yes, caffeine is a toxin, it's a poison, it's part of how you were sabotaging yourself. And that means no more coffee. That means give up that addiction to coffee. You do not need coffee to get started in the morning. I used to love to drink black tea in the morning, and now today's my fourth day without that, except I can't quite say that I have been 4 days without caffeine, because yesterday I go out after church and I like to have lunch, and then I get my protein from a grocery store while I'm out there, and yet I bought two protein shakes they were low sugar, like 4 grams in each one. I don't mind. That's to me not eating sugar. One of them, however, had 25 what's it called, milligrams or micrograms. I don't remember which one it is. Probably micrograms, milligrams. I don't know. It had 25 milligrams of caffeine in it, and that was like, I mean, drinking a cup of coffee, I think, is like 100 milligrams of caffeine. That's high. And yet black tea, I think, is more like 25 or 30 milligrams of caffeine. So I still drank caffeine yesterday. And I wasn't intending on that, but I bought like it was like chocolate hazelnut flavor, and I kind of wondered whether it had caffeine, but I didn't. Honestly, I didn't bother to take the time to look. I just thought, well, this looks good. I'd rather not just have two vanilla flavors. I'd rather have something that's a little more interesting. And it tasted like coffee, and it had the 25 milligrams of caffeine in it. So so I have to start over again. So today is my first day without caffeine, and I want to be 90 days clean of caffeine because did you know that one cup of, like an 8-ounce cup of coffee has so much caffeine in it that stays in your body that it's in your system, hurting you, sabotaging you for 3 full weeks just from one 8-ounce cup of coffee? I mean, that's why caffeine is a poison, and how it lives in your body for 3 weeks just from an 8-ounce cup of coffee. That's part of self-sabotaging. So get rid of the coffee. Be 90 days clean of coffee, and then you can decide if you want to go back to it after that yourself. If you want to abuse yourself, why would you ever want to do that? Well, okay, so in other words, 90 days is enough for you to clean yourself up, and we're doing this 90-day freedom challenge together, all serving and supporting each other every day through as part of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So make sure you're doing that yourself. if you haven't joined us for that, and if you have, like I hope you have, because this is the work required of every one of us now on the planet, well, then do this, the 90-day freedom challenge. Become clean. Stop sabotaging yourself for the full 90 days. Okay, so I mentioned the subconscious mind is like the 95% of the iceberg below the surface, and then the 5% is the conscious mind. And so your subconscious mind, its total purpose, its sole function is to keep you alive. And so it's continuously scanning the environment for threats. And like, for example, did you know that the statistics are not, there's no agreed upon number, so there's like a range of numbers, but let's just say, for comparison's sake, that your conscious mind, what you see and what you where you are choosing the direction and the course of your life consciously, that's kind of like the CEO of your system, of your self. Like I mentioned, the prefrontal cortex, like think of that as your conscious mind, and then all these drugs, all these toxins, all these ways you were sabotaging yourself with caffeine, alcohol, weed, smoking, processed foods, sugar foods. All of that stuff is designed to take you out of your out of your conscious control of your life and get you into your subconscious mind. So, like when your prefrontal cortex is down, when there's a threat in your environment that your subconscious mind perceives, it takes your conscious mind offline, and then you're run by your programming. This is what I really want you to hear and to recognize when this is happening in your life. Like anytime you're in fear, like fight or flight or freeze mode, you're you're not thinking rationally. Your subconscious programming has taken over, and it's like, I mean, like how many people were in fight or flight or freeze mode during the whole COVID the psychological operation unleashed on the world by evil. I call it Fraud 1.0 as part of the attempted totalitarian takeover that began in America in March of 2020, and most of the world was at the same time. Some were earlier, like Australia and, of course, China, where it began, where it was unleashed on the world as the bioweapon it was. It was all about control. It was the complete manipulation for us to go into fear, doubt, worry, scarcity, lack, consciousness, which is our programming, our subconscious programming. So it's almost like the collective consciousness, the mass fear hysteria, took our rational thinking intelligence offline, and we were run by our programming. And this was all designed on purpose to manipulate us, to allow the evil to get people to comply with taking, well, that was the most overt bioweapon to get us to not be strong, to be weak, to be compliant, to live in the control program. Anyway, this is so hugely important. It's why every one of us must do the 90-day freedom challenge as part of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. We're talking about all of this there, by the way. So, I mean, still relate to what we're talking about, these points that I'm raising here in this action pod number 55, relate to each point and then share your thoughts about each point using your invite people link in all the posts you're making, absolutely, because this is how you're leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating LITL, doing a little more today and being of greater service to all your online friends through your invite people financial freedom link. And this is where we're doing the work of cleaning up our lives and our world So nothing matters more than every one of us doing this now. So, I mean, think about this. When people are in fear, they're looking at they're looking at everything as a threat, and they're trying to get back to safety, security, except that's been taken away from most of us since the COVID fraud began, the massive psyop unleashed by evil, by the globalists, by the communists on the world, by the tyrants, by the attempted totalitarian takeover regimes, the governments of the world that are not serving the people of the world, they want to keep you down. They want you living in fear and being totally oblivious of the power that you have because your power is beyond measure. And this is what you need to use to live your divine design, duty, destiny, dharma. So we're doing all of this in our 90-day Freedom Challenge as part of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. We're all cleaning our lives, getting back to our power, and staying in our conscious mind where we're not just run by our programming. Because here's the thing. This is what I started to say, the statistics are not unilaterally agreed upon, but let's just say for comparison purposes that your conscious mind is aware of 1,100 bits of data from your five senses every second. And some people might say it's only like 110 different bits of information we can see consciously. I mean, like if you think about like looking around the room where you are or your car or wherever you are, you might, you can see 110 things or 1,100 things, let's say that's the range, and yet your subconscious mind is scanning everything in your environment. And some people might say that your subconscious mind can pick up 11 million bits of data every second. And other people like Joe Dispenza, I think it was Joe Dispenza, maybe it was, I forgot his name now. Dr. Oh, I don't remember his name now. He's a pretty well known doctor anyway. I can see his picture, but I can't remember his name now. Anyway, I think it might be like 4 billion bits of data that your subconscious mind is seeing in your senses. Because your subconscious mind, its only job is to protect you, to keep you alive. And what the thing is, that's been programmed, that's been manipulated by evil to with repetitive content for you to keep smoking. I mean, you know that there's nothing accidental about them making weed legal so many places because they want you to be run by your programming. They want you out of your conscious choice to live your better life and to serve people and to be successful and happy and wealthy and fulfilled. No, they want you in survival mode because that's where they manipulate you. That's where they have the power over you. That's where you're compliant, you're weak, you're helpless, you're dependent upon big government to save you. All of that is a fraud, a manipulation. It's a control trip. And that's what I really want you to hear. So that's why the 90-day freedom challenge is so imperative for every one of us to do now. And it's just part of you being in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. It's just a small part of what we're all doing and how we're helping and serving and supporting each other to become as powerful and strong as we need to be to fulfill our purpose. That's why it's so imperative for every one of us to be part of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. You might, and anytime I use the word might, you could just cross it out, and then anything that comes after that is what's really true. You might, quote unquote, want to also become parasite cleansed and do our 30-day poison purge program. That's at parasitecleansed.com/3P. That's a separate program. And if you want to start there, you'll actually get a free month in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. That's kind of like a side bonus because we want to have our community. We need to talk about everything that we're doing in our 30-day poison purge program. So that's at parasitecleanse.com/3P. Anyway, how is this speaking to you? What changes do you know you need to make in terms of removing the poison from your body and no longer sabotaging yourself? I mean, I don't know. This was maybe 16 or 17 years ago by now, maybe a little longer, maybe a little less. I heard I was working with one of my colleagues then, and he said that studies have shown, he read this somewhere, that 90% of all women admitted to having issues with low self-esteem, and for men it was something like 88%, and yet my colleague felt that women are more open about that and willing to admit it, and men are more like, no, I'm strong, I'm tough. And they're sort of like not really seeing what's obvious. Anyway, so 9 out of 10 people having issues with low self-esteem, and that was before the whole COVID op began, Fraud 1.0, and how many people don't believe in themselves at all since then, and they lost their hope for a better future since then because of tyranny, oppression, evil, becoming so overtly aggressive and, well, hijacking people's happiness and their hope for a better tomorrow. I mean, all of this was programmed just to keep you down, to keep all of us in poverty and in manipulation and in fear. All of that is dying. It's up to every one of us to make sure that that has no power over any of us any longer. That requires us stepping up and owning our power and commanding our destiny. Is there any question about the need for all of us to do this now? And we're doing this through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. Just as part of you being the inspired visionary leader, it is your destiny to be. So make sure you're joining us there. Share your thoughts about all of this as separate posts that you're making on all of your social media as you're leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating everyone you are blessed to have connected with you. And you're liberating humanity by doing this yourself. I mean, your power is beyond measure. You're so much more powerful than you can ever even imagine or comprehend. So let's even focus our power now and this is something called humanity's unifying manifestation. We're all doing this together, so join us in this now. Use your power, which is beyond measure. Focus your power and see this creation as something that we have all created together. Our power is beyond measure. Together, we've helped 1.72 billion people become very wealthy, living their Dharma through freeingthematrix.com and Operation Greatness. This is the greatest thing we've ever done and the higher purpose of our lives. See that as already complete. And my friend, that 1.72 billion people we have helped become very wealthy living their Dharma through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind and Operation Greatness, that's happening by you leading all of your online friends into doing this action pod number 55 with us, and by you getting your 1,200 people joining us through your Invite People Financial Freedom link, they're joining us in the freeingthematrix.com mastermind as we are all joining in and working together in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. By you getting 1,200 of your online friends joining through your Invite People link and them getting their 1,200 people joining their Freeing the Matrix chapter, through them, you have transformed the lives of 1,440,000 people who are getting their 1,200 people. Guess what that is? That's 1.72 billion people. This is humanity's destiny. This is humanity's dharma. This is the higher purpose of every one of our lives. And we're all doing this together through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. Is there any question about you whether this is right for you to be part of this or not, and to do our 90-day freedom challenge yourself, to go the distance, removing all the toxins and coming out of that scarcity, fear, lack programming, because this is how much you matter. Humanity is free because of me, because of you. This is what you're saying to yourself. Humanity is free because of me. We are sovereign. We are free. This is our duty, our destiny. Repeat that mantra over and 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 over. I am sovereign. I am free. This is my duty, my destiny. We are sovereign. We are free. This is our duty, our destiny. How does that feel? This is something that you know every one of us is required to do now, right? So make sure you're doing it yourself and make sure you are that inspired visionary leader of every one of your online friends, with them doing that themselves through you. You have liberated humanity. This is the higher purpose of your life. This is the greatest contribution any one of us has ever made. And it's happening by you doing this yourself and by you leading now every one of your online friends through doing this through your Invite People Financial Freedom link. Any question about the need and value and importance of all of us doing this together and serving and supporting each other as much as we can through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind? So do this now. Take all of the posts that you've been making, put them into the essay that you're sending me as usual at dan@danclatt.com, and then take the essay that you're sharing with me and share that with us all in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. What was most meaningful and inspiring in this Stop Sabotaging Yourself Now conversation, our action pod number 55? Post about that as well. Let me know that in the essay that you're sending me at dan@danclatt.com, and post that as well in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. Are you committed to stopping all ways you were sabotaging yourself, and you're going to become clean over the next 90 days? Part of that is the community where we're all doing this together and we're sharing our challenges, our successes, our fears, our concerns, our hopes, our dreams, and we're all living our best lives together as part of the 90-day freedom challenge through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. So make sure that you're doing this and leading every one of your online friends and everyone in your local community through your Operation Greatness chapter. We're doing this as part of our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. I'm so looking forward to you saying, I did it. I went 90 days completely clean and I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel so much better than I ever have. I'm inspired. Every day I wake up excited. I can't wait for all the people I'm transforming today, all of the good I'm doing in the world today. I'm getting chills here just feeling that for you, how much more better your life is going to become, how much better your mindset is, how much more happy you are, how much more in your power you are. You know how much you matter, and you're actively transforming the lives of your 1,200 people, knowing that that's leading to 1,440,000 people and then 1.72 billion people becoming their best, living their best lives, with all of us working together, coming from abundance, from love, serving and supporting each other every step in us becoming our best and having the most meaning and impact and fulfillment and success and happiness. This is the greatest thing humanity has ever done. This is the higher purpose of every one of our lives, and we're doing it together every step through our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. I can't wait for that moment when you say, I did it. I transformed my life. I've been clean for 90 days now. This is the best thing I've ever done. And I'm so grateful I went to freeingthematrix.com and joined every one of us in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. Wow, the person I became. My parents would be so proud of me if they knew that I was able to overcome this addiction that I had, and I no longer sabotaged myself. I no longer played small. I no longer, I stopped not believing in myself because I truly know how much I matter now. I mean, really see that. Picture yourself 3 months from now feeling how great you feel, how confident you are, how much you believe in yourself. You know how much you matter. You know that you are God's greatest gift. Wow, the person you are. I see this. That's the person I see in front of me now. I see you that way myself. I believe in you. I know how much you matter. I'm getting chills here just reflecting on that. I love you. I believe in you. I know you've got this. You have the power to do this, and this is your destiny to do this, to give yourself this, to be this person. I see you as that person right now. You're seeing that in yourself too, right? I know you are, because you know that you've always known that you were here to do something important, something significant, that you were here to contribute something really profound to the world. This is that moment. You've always known you had greatness within you. This is that moment where you're bringing that to the surface fully. You're not playing small anymore. You're not holding yourself back. You're not for sure coming from scarcity, fear, lack consciousness. All of that was part of the manipulation for you to destroy yourself, for you to limit yourself, for you to disconnect from your power, your purpose, the full meaning of life. Now we are living that fully as part of our 90-day freedom challenge in our freeingthematrix.com mastermind. Wow, the person you are right here. And now you're living your life that way as God's gift to the world. And so inspired by the person you have now become and all of the gifts that you are sharing. Wow, you're living your life as God's gift to the world. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't wait to read all your posts. I can't wait to read all your posts as well. Sharing your successes every step of the way. Wow. Thank you very much.